everyone. Happy New Year. It's me, Shalina, back with the first Tuesday Talks of the new year. I hope you're feeling rested and rejuvenated and excited for 2021. I know I am. I'm feeling good and hopeful and positive. And I wanted to know if you made any New Year resolutions, and if you did, if you're willing, you should share them below. And do you know what the most common New Year resolution is? Of course you do. I mean, it's the most common one. It's the one that so many people make every year, and it is to lose weight or get fit or resculpt their body in some sort of way. And I am here to support you in those endeavors, and I have two ideas that you might want to consider if losing weight or reshaping your body in some way is part of your New Year resolution. These two things I definitely stand by. I've used them before. I'm confident that they work. And one of them I'm practicing now, or more accurately, I've just started practicing again. And another one I'm not going to pretend to tell you that I'm doing, but that doesn't mean you can't do it and try it. And so what are they? So the first one is cold therapy. Cold therapy is great, and it's something that I highly recommend you try. I'm not going to say that I'm necessarily going to try it, but you definitely should try it. Okay, so let's talk about cold therapy. So we know that the model of like calorie in, calorie out is a little bit outdated. So for example, let's say you run a marathon. You might burn, the average adult, you could be running for 4+ hours. You'll burn about 2,600 calories, which is like, that's a lot. That's a huge calorie burn. The problem is a pound is like 3,500 calories. So you run a marathon, you've literally not even burned a pound worth of calories. That is pretty demoralizing. And man, what a way, like what a mountain to climb if you're only doing exercise to get rid of calories or only modifying your diet. That's where cold therapy comes in. So let's say someone spent 4 hours in a pool and doing a similar type activity. Well, that person could burn almost 7,000 calories, 6,600 calories. So way more than running. Oh my gosh, what's that about? Well, it's because of something called thermal load. Not going to get into all that science, but basically the water pulls more body heat and energy from your body than the air does. And so that's why I remember back in the day when, God, what is his name? Oh, that swimmer, Phelps. Anyway, the Olympian that won all those medals. Michael Phelps. Phelps, not Phillips. Michael Phelps. He said he ate like 30,000 calories a day. Oh my God, that's like ridiculous amounts of calories. Why could he do that and still be so fit? It wasn't just because he was exercising and in the pool 6 hours a day, but it's because of the thermal load probably, and that water is like sucking heat from his body. And so that's making his body just leak calories. That's also why like those mountain climbers, sometimes they'll eat like literally sticks of butter to make sure that they have enough energy reserves to summit. And it's not just the physical activity of hiking or the oxygen depletion. It's the fact that it's so dang on cold that they're just leaking energy. So that's where cold comes in. Cold really helps you because really our bodies are like these thermal systems. So if you're putting your body under cold stress, then not only are you shivering and your metabolism is going up, but you're like, you're burning a lot of calories. So how can you incorporate this into your everyday? Well, there's different ways. So some people recommend you basically create a cold tub 3 or 4 times a week. So you fill your bathtub with water and ice, and then you sit in it for up to 20 minutes, as long as you can stand. That will burn up some calories for you. Most people aren't really going to do that long term or as a lifestyle. So another thing you could do, which is not quite as efficient but still works, is you could decide you're going to take cold showers. And if you're like a 2 shower a day person, you could maybe say like, all right, my morning shower is going to be a cold shower and my nighttime shower is going to be a nice warm shower. Another thing that, hey, maybe that's not for everybody. So then what you could do is say, you know what, every time I get in the shower, I'm going to take a nice hot shower. It's going to be great. But at the very end, I'm going to do like the last 30 seconds or the last minute of my shower, a cold shower. So those are ways you can incorporate cold. Or you could this is what I did when I did it years ago. I got like an ice pack, and if I'm watching TV or whatever, like every night you just take the ice pack out, you put it on like your neck or trapezius area or your lower back area, and you do that for 20 minutes, and then that's a way to incorporate cold therapy for weight loss. Or you could just every time you get up in the morning, ice cold water in your system. So those are all different ways that you can incorporate cold therapy. You should try it. Let me know if you do it and how it works for you. I mean, the difference between burning like thousands and thousands of calories and just a few calories kind of makes it worth it if you have the stamina. Oh, you know what? Yesterday I tried for the first time. There's this place called Restore Therapy. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Just opened up in Ann Arbor on Washtenaw, and they have one of those chambers where they use like dry ice to make it ridiculously cold, and you can only go in there for 3 minutes. And I'd always wanted to try that, and I finally did. Man, it was exhilarating. I haven't been in a cold tub in years because it's been a long time since I was an athlete. So it was also kind of a mental challenge because I had to tell myself, you're fine, it's only 3 minutes, everything's fine. And literally, like, icicles are like forming inside my nose. But when you get out, you have what they call a Cairo high. Like, I was like buzzing, or maybe I was shivering, I don't know. But it's very exhilarating. And if you have the funds for that, you can find a place like that and just go do that 2 or 3 times a week. And that's only 3 minutes instead of a 20-minute cold tub. So that's my first idea. And the second one, well, it's not my idea, obviously, but something that I recommend. The second one is intermittent fasting. So I have started doing this again. I did this a couple years ago. I lost a lot of weight. I felt really good. And I was really happy with the results. Intermittent fasting is when you decide not to eat now for me, it was 12 hours. But some people say that you get the best effects when it's at least 14 hours, which is probably true, but I didn't want to go 14 or 16 hours, so I did like 12 hours. So it's very simple. You just decide that, listen, if you ate at 9 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock or 10 or midnight, let's say the last thing you put in your mouth was midnight, then you don't put another morsel of food in your mouth until noon the next day. And what's great about intermittent fasting is most people, especially when they first start, they don't worry about calories at all. They don't worry about necessarily making sure it's a healthy diet. You just eat whatever you want. If you're only eating from noon to midnight, or better, noon to 10 or 8, you just eat whatever you want. You eat whatever you want, when you want it, as long as it's in those prescribed time periods. And what happens is, like, after a couple weeks, they say it really kicks in where you're burning a lot. I don't know if you're burning a lot of calories, but anyway, it seems to really help with weight loss and weight management. And it definitely helped with me. And for me, like, diets, they can work, but oftentimes the problem is people lose weight and then they go off the diet and then the weight creeps back up. But for me, intermittent fasting can be like a lifestyle thing. Like, you can really just do it forever and you don't feel like you're being denied something. You're just curbing not even how much you eat. You're curbing how much of the day you're allowed to have, like, food intake. And the reality is this 3 meals a day thing is kind of like a fairly new concept. People have really only been doing that since, like, I don't know, the 1800s. We didn't eat like that in the past. And we probably don't necessarily need 3 meals a day. But with intermittent fasting, you can have 8 meals a day. You just can only have them, within that 8-hour period. So that's something I recommend. Oh, the other thing about intermittent fasting is that, not all, but the animal research shows that calorie restriction is a life extender. Like, it's a longevity tool. But extreme calorie restriction, to me, it comes with other drawbacks. And also, there's a fine line between extreme calorie restriction and eating disorder. But supposedly intermittent fasting also offers similar longevity benefits without the extremeness of extreme calorie restriction. So those are 2 things you can look into: intermittent fasting, cold therapy, incorporate it into your life if that is part of your New Year resolution to lose weight. And I think that's all I have for you for today. I hope you're doing well, And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, follow, and all that jazz. And if you have any other topics that you would like me to discuss, let me know. Because you know me, like, I've got a ton of things I can talk about and want to talk about, but I want to talk about things that you find of interest and that are of value to you. So that's it, and Happy New Year. Bye.